Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we delve into the latest developments in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, with a specific focus on the recent escalation in Gaza and the increasing tensions on Israel's northern border with Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. We'll explore the impact of Israel's airstrikes, the humanitarian toll, and the broader geopolitical implications of this conflict. The Israeli military has issued a sweeping call for residents of Gaza City to evacuate the area following days of intense airstrikes across the enclave. This move signals that Israel's high-intensity campaign against Hamas is far from over, even as the risk of a full-scale war with Hezbollah militants on its northern border with Lebanon grows. An airstrike in southern Gaza on Tuesday, which Israel claimed targeted a Hamas militant, tragically killed at least 25 people, including those sheltering in a school building. Palestinian health officials have highlighted the relentless toll on civilians despite Israel's assertion that it is transitioning to a lower-intensity phase of the conflict. Leaflets distributed in Gaza City and messages on the Israeli military's social media platforms have urged civilians to move towards central Gaza, declaring the city a dangerous combat zone. This broad evacuation order marks a departure from previous directives, which targeted specific neighborhoods marked on a map using a numbered grid system. The latest message, part of a series of warnings to clear the way for Israeli military operations, comes as Israeli forces re-enter areas they had previously withdrawn from to combat regrouped Hamas militants. However, the Hamas-affiliated Interior Ministry in Gaza has urged residents to ignore the Israeli military's order, calling it psychological coercion. Tuesday's airstrike hit the town of Abasin al-Kabira, near Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip, where Israel had recently ordered civilians to evacuate. The strike resulted in over 50 injuries, according to Palestinian officials. The Israeli military stated that it was investigating reports of civilian casualties and that the strike involved a precise munition targeting a location next to the school. Al Jazeera footage showed a crowded schoolyard shaken by an explosion, with screams and chaos as people rushed to help the wounded. The Israeli military claimed the target was a Hamas member involved in the group's October 7 attack, during which militants from Gaza killed at least 1,200 Israelis, mostly civilians, and took around 250 hostages. The ongoing war in Gaza has claimed over 38,000 lives, predominantly civilians, according to Palestinian health officials, though the exact number of combatants is not specified. On Wednesday, the Israeli military conducted an operation against Hamas and Islamic Jihad militants in a headquarters of the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees in Gaza City. A UN spokeswoman noted that the agency had vacated the facility in October. The military stated that the operation followed the opening of civilian evacuation routes. Israel's approach to the conflict, which has resulted in significant civilian casualties, has sparked international debate. On Wednesday, negotiations in Qatar continued toward a potential ceasefire deal that could also secure the release of Israeli hostages. However, the talks face significant challenges, with Hamas demanding a guaranteed end to the war and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insisting on a pact that would allow Israel to resume strikes after the hostages are released. The European Union's foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell, condemned the airstrike that hit the school building, questioning how long innocent civilians would continue to bear the brunt of the conflict. This strike was the fourth in recent days to hit or near school buildings in Gaza, many of which have been converted into shelters for displaced civilians. Israel accuses Hamas of using these shelters to store weapons and hide fighters. U.S. officials have noted that Israel's recent operations in Gaza have resulted in fewer civilian casualties, following pressure from the Biden administration to reduce civilian deaths. Security analysts suggest that this perceived reduction may be due to a slower tempo of strikes as Israel shifts to a lower intensity phase of the conflict rather than a fundamental change in its targeting approach. By virtue of the fact that the operational tempo is considerably lower now, it's easy to believe that it's less lethal, said Brian Finucane, a former State Department attorney and now a senior advisor at the International Crisis Group. That doesn't mean that individual strikes are more accurate or kill fewer civilians. As the situation in Gaza continues to evolve, the humanitarian crisis remains dire, and the geopolitical stakes are high. The international community watches closely as negotiations and military operations unfold. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates and in-depth analysis on this critical issue. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay informed on the latest developments. Thank you for watching.